Although not quite as famous as The Mandalorian, the Book of Boba Fett has been surprisingly successful, leaving fans to question if Temuera Morrison's first solo project has a future beyond Season 1. The fact that episodes 5 and 6 served as a sneak preview for The Mandalorian Season 3 made things even more difficult, thereby making this program Mando 2.5. The Book of Boba Fett, what does that mean? Are there any more chapters planned? Or can we put this book to rest and move on to the other 80 billion Star Wars shows that will soon be available? The second season of The Book of Boba Fett on Disney Plus is covered in the following information. The Book of Boba Fett Season 2 potential release date. When will it air on Disney Plus? Sadly, as of March 2022, neither a verified release date for The Book of Boba Fett's second season nor its return have been officially announced. The Star Wars universe is constantly evolving, so there is a chance that Boba Fett's solo adventure will end there or that there will be more chapters to come. Disney may decide to delay Season 2 in order to tie it into future projects because of its larger aspirations for Star Wars. The Mandalorian has been granted the go-ahead for Season 3 because it turned out to have strong connections to the Book of Boba Fett. Therefore, we might just have to wait and see how this narrative develops. By December 2022, The Mandalorian Season 3 may be available. Ahsoka, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Andor, and the Rangers of the New Republic are just a few of the various spin-offs and additions to the Star Wars universe that keep us on our toes. The Book of Boba Fett Season 2 cast, who is returning. Temuera Morrison isn't as crucial to the Book of Boba Fett as we first believed, contrary to what we would typically say about a show like this one. This was demonstrated in episodes 5 and 6. However, even if that were the case, it would be cheeky to order a second season without Boba Fett himself, so we can be sure Morrison will return in some capacity. Morrison, though, is only positive about how the show's viewers are responding to it and has fond recollections of filming with Ming-Na. We complemented each other so beautifully. Working with her was quite simple. She was a confidante of mine, so it was really a joint effort and the team in general. It seems like the actor has some regrets about Season 1. Looking back on it now, I'm not sure, it's just one of those things. When you reflect, everything was wonderful, but there are some things I would have handled differently. But once more, it has truly simply been amazing for me to work with John and be a part of the Mandalorian family. Hope he gets another chance with the laser whip. Other people that would probably follow him include Ming-Na Wen in the role of Fennec Shand. If he's not occupied with his own program, Pedro Pascal will play Din Djarin. The Mandalorian. Matt Berry serves as 8D8's voice. Carrie Jones portraying K.R. Santon. Danny Trejo is Fett's Ranker's instructor. We believe that Timothy Olyphant would undoubtedly return for a second season after that brief but captivating post-credits sequence at the conclusion of Season 1. When we return to Tatooine, whenever that may be, Cobb Vanth will undoubtedly be alive thanks to assistance from the back-to-tank and Fennec Shand's surgeon. As the voice of Cad Bane, Corey Burton, we don't anticipate seeing him back. The legendary bounty hunter was unsuccessfully pursued by Boba in the Season 1 finale, thus it is unlikely that he would return to torment our favorite characters in Season 2. Despite the fact that the light on his coat was still blinking. The Book of Boba Fett Season 2 plot, what will happen? Now that he has cemented his position as Tatooine's top crime boss, will Boba remain there once the dust has settled? He and Fennec may soon be relocating, as suggested by one last scene in the Season 1 conclusion. Boba and Fennec are praised as heroes as they pass by on the streets, and a melon is even thrown their way. Boba says, "We are not suited for this," and Fennec responds, "If not us, then who?" And with that, Boba hands Black K.R. Santon, the young street gang leader who is hanging out with Sophie Thatcher's Drash and who we assume might now take over if Boba decides to depart, his melon. It's a mysterious ending, but it makes sense given that this show's future is also uncertain. We wouldn't be shocked if Boba returned in a lesser role going future, possibly as a guest star on other shows like The Mandalorian, given the mixed reactions from fans and the lack of an obvious story for Boba moving ahead. It is probable that future episodes will center on Boba Fett settling a score with Mace Windu, the Jedi Master who murdered his father, if the Book of Boba Fett does indeed make a comeback. For my dad, I owe him a great deal. He is done. He is done, Morrison stated in a recent interview with IMDb's On the Scene. I am keeping an eye on him. In fact, he comes in first place. In response to co-star Ming-Na Wen's suggestion that her character Fennec Shand subject Mace to slow torment, Morrison said, "Definitely, yes. Before you point out that Mace is no longer alive, keep in mind that Boba was also meant to be consuming sandworms." In a 2016 interview with Entertainment Weekly, Samuel L. Jackson denied the alleged demise of his character, Mace, and suggested Mace might have survived Revenge of the Sith. He is undoubtedly. Jedi can fall from incredible heights, Jackson remarked. And one-handed Jedi have a long history. Why not then? Why not, in fact? Jackson has mentioned bringing the character back to Disney+, but there haven't been any in-depth discussions as of yet. I've only ever mentioned returning to Bryce Dallas Howard, who also serves as the show's director, when talking about it, according to Jackson. I then ask, "So, do you think you might be able to set up a brother? You must like me, right?" She then exclaims, "I love you, you are fantastic." So please re-enter me, I'm prepared. Coach, just put me in. I'll pick up a left-handed lightsaber. Don't rule out a miracle recovery for Windu after the enormously enthusiastic fan reaction to Hayden Christensen's reappearance in Obi-Wan Kenobi. But perhaps Francis Ford Coppola's Godfather trilogy could be on your list of movies to binge watch if you want some hints about where Boba's adventure will go next. It has a significant influence, according to Jon Favreau. Your mind wanders to Don Corleone. There is a great deal of restraint because he is aware that is necessary for sustainability. If you keep going to the mattresses, nobody will be making money, therefore you can't succeed unless there is some political balance. You consider the things that are forbidden. As his career progressed, Don Corleone wasn't only doing everything to fill his pockets. In The Godfather, Part 2's flashbacks, you can see De Niro strolling around the neighborhoods. Because of how he conducts himself, he is respected by the public as someone who is truly creating. There are many different approaches to governing an empire. There are 3 different ways: the Sonny Corleone way, the Michael Corleone way, and the Vito Corleone method. We would discuss Conan with Robert. Beginning as a teenage warrior, Conan grows older throughout the stories until he becomes Conan the King. What makes Boba the criminal boss different from what he would have been as a younger man now that he knows what he knows? I believe he is simply wise. He is also a much older character because we are now discussing the first 3 books. Because he has gone through the events depicted in all the earlier movies, he is in a different stage of his life. The Book of Boba Fett Season 2 trailer, when can I watch it? Sorry, but the likelihood of us seeing a Book of Boba Fett Season 2 trailer in the near future is slim. Since you're watching this, you must be aware of how much Lucasfilm liked to keep information behind lock and key until it is ready for fans to learn about it. In light of the fact that the Star Wars galaxy itself is about as far away from us as new footage, be sure to check back in here and we'll do our best to keep you informed. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, make sure to like and subscribe for more.